Consistency is my word for 2026. And January taught me that I had no idea what that actually meant. Because here's the thing, I stayed in it this month, well, in January, consistently. But guess what? It was nowhere close to what I planned. Welcome to Antonias Blissful Corner, your space for reflection, growth, and peace. Today is February 2nd, and I have been trying to record this thing since January 31st. I actually recorded it last night, and after I finished and it was rendering, I noticed that towards the end, there was no volume. I don't know what happened. Hence the reason why I actually prefer um, live videos. But nevertheless, I actually enjoy doing recording also. But that's not why I'm here. It is freezing here in New York, and I have been hermiting. I mean, happily hermiting, may I add. And somehow, in all that solitude and stillness, I remain committed in ways I didn't see coming. I didn't disappear. I kept choosing to engage just differently. I used to think I was not slow, because when I'm moving fast. But when I'm being creative, I be a little slow because I like to be thoughtful about what I'm doing, right? Not to be perfect or anything, but whatever I am creating, I like the end result to be something that I am proud of. And when it comes to creating, I'm the tortoise. And on that note, I have something to show you. So my friend Kay and Didi, so Kay and I do Hey Sister, Let's Chat Together. Her channel is at KAYNDIDI. I got home from work today and look what I got. So excited! You see that? I think there's a little glare because I didn't take it out of the plastic, but you see that? Anyway, I'm super excited. Every time I gotta get a frame and I'm gonna put it back there because I was telling her that the colors and everything basically like this. Look at the blues and look at the yellow. The yellow goes with that yellow vase right there. Anyway, I'm sorry. Just wanted to share because I was so excited. Anyway, yeah, so I am the tortoise, right? Slow, steady, and apparently full of surprises. I I had a very structured, I'm gonna pull out my calendar, even though this is a 2025 one, but the 2026 one is in my room on the bed. And I had a very structured vision for January and February, kind of, right? The kind that you write down, color coded, and, just cutesy this and intentions and all that, right? The kind that looks flawless in the journal. It's beautiful. But consistency doesn't always wear the outfit you picked out for it. And what I learned quickly is that commitment doesn't always arrive on schedule. Sometimes it shows up quietly, asking you to adjust instead of perform. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of my energy in January went to training, remote training, which meant talking and talking and more talking. More talking than an introvert ever plans for. I kept saying to the few people that I cared to share with outside of work, training is training. Training is training. It kind of became a mantra because it was. But I feel like it was also training in life, which is what I told mommy over the weekend. Like, wait a second. I think I think God planned it this way intentionally because this is going to lead me somewhere, all this talking. Not here. I like this, right? Because it's just me and you. Me and you. That's it, right? Every time I think about trading. But again, like it's wonderful to be able to share knowledge. Um, whether it's training, whether it's this way, because you're helping someone, right? Um, I feel like the reality is that, sometimes the very thing that exhausts us is the thing that stretches us. Talking that much forced me to show up in ways that I normally wouldn't. It pushed me way outside of my comfort zone. And as uncomfortable as it was, it mattered. For introverts, especially, using our voice again and again and again and again, It doesn't come naturally, but it is necessary when growth is calling. And growth is calling me right now, right? So, yes, it drained me. And yes, it grew me. And I'm grateful. If I had to break down my January energy, it was about 60% training people remotely, maybe 10%, no, 20% recovering, 20% recovering from training, and about 20% quietly building my dream from my nice little warm, cozy hermit cave. And I would say that what I am most proud of this, I keep saying this month, it was last month. Can you imagine that January went so fast? But anyway, what I'm most proud of is that I'm learning how to protect my time in ways that I never knew before, right? Um, Last year, I decided to reserve Sunday as my day. I'm not going to even say of solitude or rest because ain't no rest going on here. But and but I will say that it's a day for me to basically give myself permission to not be on any socials, right? So everything that basically posts on Sundays usually scheduled in advance. So I'm not really like one of these people that doom scroll. I post and I bounce. I don't even really spend a lot of time on any social media platform except for YouTube. But YouTube don't count. Anyway, Sunday is that day when I give myself a break, right? Right now, I'm a one man show building an empire. So, unfortunately, on Sunday, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, I get to contemplate content and contemplate things that I would like to do. Sunday is also the day that I cook, and then I start to basically prep for the week ahead. I do some chores around the house, and when it's nice outside, I go for a walk. But so Sunday is my time, right? So anyone who chooses to send me a message on Sunday, and if you don't see me respond, please do not take any offense. Sunday is my day of rest. Not that I'm resting, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I became more intentional about how and where I spend my energy, and it it feels good, right? And I feel like it feels like growth itself, right? When you're able to dictate, how, when, where, how. I said how, who, what, when, where, how, and why. It helps, right? Because sometimes I think we play with it in our minds and sometimes we don't know how to execute. And all you have to do really is just execute, right? There was a point in time when I allowed people to call me any time of day or night. It did not matter. And at some point I was like, oh no, we have to have office hours. So then I stopped answer. Not that I get a whole lot of calls, but I decided to, not answer calls or messages after 9 p.m., right? Because this is how you learn how to set boundaries. Like you basically like just put certain things in place. And even if you're not going to bed till 1 a.m., it doesn't matter. You have the right to say, you know what, at XYZ time, I am not participating in text messages, phone calls, whatever you so choose, right? Small steps to build your boundary, to build your nice little bubble or your nice little wall. When you are an introvert who's been talking all day, you learn quickly that not all time is equal. Some of it needs to be guarded, chosen, protected. So I chose solitude. I chose quiet. I chose the hermit life, right? It helped me a lot. This winter is helping me a lot. People, they seem puzzled when I say things like, "Oh, when I got home from work on last Wednesday, I didn't come back outside until Monday morning to go back to the office." I mean, winter. So I've grown to appreciate winter. I mean, this winter has been extraordinary cold, but it's winter, right? We got snow, a decent amount of snow because it actually snowed before winter this year. I think it snowed. Did it snow before Thanksgiving? I cannot remember, but I remember that it did definitely snow before Christmas. The snow that we got the other day. I actually wanted to go out and play, like do snow angels, but I waited a day or two too late, and next you know it turned into ass. So that didn't happen. But like I've been when they say it's gonna snow, I'm like, all right, doesn't matter to me because I'm being inside the house anyway, unless I have to go to work. But I'm using my time differently, right? The office days I have to go out, but if I don't have to go out, I'm choosing to basically stay inside, right? The like I'm learning how to basically like just use that time to be in like a blissful hermit mode. And a lot can happen in solitude, and a lot does. Sometimes my brain is like this, but sometimes I'm like, no, come back, come back. And I did, right? This January, days before the new year, my spirit told me to do a newsletter, and I was like, where am I going to send it from? Whatever, whatever. And it prompted me to go and do a facelift on my channel, societyofintroverts.com. Please stop over, take a look at my beautiful space, and join my community. Anyway, I did the facelift and I was happy, right? Because I actually managed to pull it off even doing year-end close while training. But I feel as if like when we set certain intentions, nothing is impossible, right? And so basically started to work on it, like right before the end of the year through year-end close. And what I've now created is the foundation for my community. And I'm so proud of it because I did that, right? This for me wasn't busy work. This was infrastructure. The kind of work you do when you're not performing for anyone, just preparing for what's coming. Because I feel like something big is coming for me, right? So yesterday morning, February 1st, I did something that mattered to me, right? For me, it was huge. Now that I have my wonderful societyofintroverts.com that you just went to go and subscribe to, I scheduled and set my very first newsletter from the Society of Introverts website. Now, please remember that the reason why I decided to do the facelift was because my spirit told me that I had to start doing newsletters, which I agreed, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do them monthly because we're not gonna do it weekly because it sounds very like a lot. So I said, okay, I don't mind doing it monthly. I wanted to do it in January, but time didn't permit. And by the time the facelift was complete, it was like mid-January, and I was like, it's too late to send out January. So I'll just allow January to live on the website, and we will send it on February 1st is when I wanted to send it, right? Actually, I wanted to schedule it so that I can go out at midnight on February 1st, but it didn't quite work out that way because I was up late working on a t-shirt order, and I had to basically figure out how to how to set up MailChimp to send out the newsletters successfully. And I did. And I'm proud of myself. Dag nabbit. Pat myself on my back. I will say though, all kidding aside, I was while I was, excited, I was very nervous. I was very anxious. And it took a while for me to just simply hit send. Um, I don't know why sometimes I get so nervous about doing something as simple as hitting send. Anyway, I feel like at some point I kind of closed my eyes and was like, and I sent it. And I was happy because moments later, a good friend of mine texted me, and it took like 2 seconds to figure out what he was saying, but then I realized it was him acknowledging receipt of it. And I was like, oh, so exciting. And then late in the day, my coach, Dr. Pratt, texted me, and he was like, I love this. And it made me proud because a lot of what I'm doing now are things that he and I had discussed previously. But like I said, I'm a tortoise. So I'm not one of those who do things like that in the moment. I have to basically think about it. It has to sound right to me. And I have to be in the right frame of mind to basically execute it the way that I want to, right? I had no plans to do any facelift on the website. The website was first created as a landing page for my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. It is available at societyofintroverts.com. It is also available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold online. Did you go on join my community yet? All you have to do is to hit the join button. And also, there is an introvert quiz. So if you're uncertain as to where you fall, with your personality type, take the test and you will see. Anyway, yeah, so I was anxious. I pressed the button, and then moments later, I did feel proud of myself. I was very grateful because all I thought to myself was, I did it. I did it. I think that sometimes we kind of, I don't know, we do this thing where we tell ourselves, I can't do that. Like we see things that we like and we're thinking, oh, that's really cool. I could never do that. And my thing is, it's like, who told you you can't do it? Did somebody like literally call you and say you can't do that? Because we do this to ourselves. You too, you do it to yourself. Like you sit there and you tell yourself, oh, I can't, I could never. And the reality of it is there's no such thing. I feel like we're all equipped to do whatever it is that we want. You just have to have enough patience with yourself to get it done. Right? That moment reminded me why I'm choosing the long route, right? Why I'm choosing to basically go along for this ride as a turtle. Because I feel as if like when you take your time to do something, you enjoy it, right? You get to actually feel the milestones instead of rushing past them. And you get to, like enjoy the little things that you do, like the trials and the tribulations and the late nights and the dehydration. Could you forget to drink water? Could you do it too much? But in the end, it's all worth it. Matter of fact, let me take a sip. But I really feel like this is why I'm so drawn to turtles, right? Because I have this fondness for turtles. And last year I said, oh, I'm gonna get me a turtle by my birthday, by Christmas. And I did. Mama got me this wonderful charm on my Pandora, right? And it was funny because when I went to the office, somebody said, did you get your turtle? I was like, oh no, I didn't get a chance to get it because I reached out to because I want to adopt one. And I reached out to a company, but I never heard back from them. And then time didn't permit because I had traveled to London. And so I was like, it was a good thing that I didn't. But then when the person at work asked me, hey, did you get your turtle? I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, wait a second. But I did. And I said, but I got this. And I said, I wasn't intentional with the word that I chose because I said I wanted a turtle. I didn't say I wanted a live one. So I said I wanted a live one. And I didn't get my live one yet, but I got two today. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Kay and Dee Dee. Sorry. Anyway, when you think about a tortoise and the hare, the tortoise doesn't win by being fast. She wins by not stopping. She keeps going by carrying her home with her, by understanding that slow and steady isn't hesitation, it's a wisdom. January wasn't a sprint, it was a foundation month. And showing up in sweatpants and t-shirts and solitude instead of schedules and structure, well, that still counts. So this here, I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to curse at you. So here, this here, I am wearing this ring, right? Because I gave it to myself at the end of 2025. On January 31st, 2025, I had a tea party with the little girl inside of me. And I gave us, her, me, this ring as a promise, right? And it's a promise to not forget her. It's a promise to show up consistently for her. And I kid you not, every time I'm doing something and I glimpse the ring, I remember, right? I remember that this isn't about rushing. This is about keeping my word. And I'm doing this for us. I'm doing this thing for us because once upon a time, I convinced her that we couldn't do it. I convinced her that we were meant to just be quiet in a corner somewhere and just make and do great things for other people, not for ourselves, right? And as it pertains to January, I'm sure, because she was there when I was planning it, and I'm sure that she probably imagined something more flashy, right? Something that looked more like success from the outside. Well, sorry, kid. We are building foundations over here. All right, I got you. I'll get you a cookie later. Here's what I want her to know, though, and what I want you to know, you who are watching. Just because it doesn't look the way that you thought that it would, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. Consistency looks different in different seasons. And this season looked like training calls, quiet nights, website facelifts, protected time, and intentional solitude. January tested the promise, and I kept it. So excited. Oh, yeah, don't forget societyofintroverts.com. Join the community, take the quiz, and get my book. And I also have some t shirts over there too. Merch. So anyway, January was not a race. It was a reminder. It was a reset, and it was the beginning of something solid. And if your January didn't look the way that you planned it, that means that you are actually living it instead of performing it. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. You're racing no one but yourself. So take your time and enjoy your journey. Pause if you need to and keep on going. That's the name of the game. Keep on going. So here's to the slow, the steady, and choosing the long route so that you can actually enjoy becoming. Enjoy your journey. If this message resonated with you, please like the video, leave a comment, and tell me what January taught you. And share this with someone who needs permission to slow down. And before I go again, I just want to share this masterpiece that I got from Kay. Again, I truly appreciate the connections that I'm making here on YouTube. Kay and Didi is a wonderful soul. She's a wonderful human being. This is her original artwork, and I am so grateful because when she gave me a sneak peek when it was in progress, I told her, I said, I'm sitting right over there beside my turtle friends. And when I got it today, I was most excited. One, for being thought of, and two, by my turtle friends. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and listening to this. Please remember, peace isn't a place, it is a choice. Stay blissful, and I will see you the next time. Thank you.